Having dirt or dust on your camera sensor will absolutely ruin your photos, so you will need to clean your camera sensor every now and then, unless you want to spend hours and hours on cleaning the dust off of your images while editing. Now, there are camera stores out there that will do the cleaning for you, but honestly I think it's just a waste of money because it's super easy and fast to do it yourself at home. For this tutorial I'm using a Canon R6 Mark II, but this will work on other cameras too, so let's get to it. The first thing you can do is an in-camera sensor cleaning. Now, not all cameras have this feature, but it's at least worth checking out if yours does. For the R6 Mark II, I can find this feature in the 5th tab of the yellow wrench menus. The first one is the auto cleaning, which I would always leave in the at power off setting. This will make the camera clean the sensor automatically every single time I turn the camera off. You can also select the clean now function to make the camera automatically clean the sensor from dust or dirt. Now, you should do this with the lens detached, as otherwise the dust will just go straight back into the camera. If the automatic sensor cleaning doesn't work well enough, or you don't have it in your camera at all, you can use an air blower. Before doing this, you may need to go back into the menus of your camera once more. If your camera doesn't have a mechanical shutter, you can just turn off your camera and you're good to go. But if your camera does have a mechanical shutter that will close when you turn off your camera, you need to do either of two things. For example, on the R6 Mark II in the 5th yellow menu, you can either choose to set your shutter to stay open at shutdown, or you can go into the sensor cleaning menu and select clean manually to make the camera enter a manual sensor cleaning mode. Now, grab your air blower and take off your lens. At this point your sensor should be exposed, so you can just blow some air with the air blower to the sensor, and this will make the dirt and dust fly off the sensor. It's a good idea to have your camera facing downward so that the sensor is facing the ground, so that the dust won't just fly straight back in, and it's also a good idea to blow some air into the back of the lens, because if there's any dust hanging around in there, that will just go straight into the sensor when you turn your camera on. You can either use a manual or an electronic air blower, but never use compressed air because that may end up spraying some liquid onto your sensor, which you definitely do not want. I'll have links to a couple of air blowers and sensor cleaning kits in the description down below, so check those out if you need to. Usually the air blower will do a good enough job, but if it doesn't, the last thing you can do is use a sensor cleaning swab, and I know that this may seem very scary to do at first, but trust me, it's completely safe. When you're buying the swabs, you have to make sure that you're buying the right size swabs, so there are different size swabs for different sized camera sensors. So the first thing you need to do is check the size of your camera sensor. So for example, I have a full frame sensor in my camera, so I'm going to buy full frame sized swabs as well. Now that you have your swabs ready to go, make sure that your camera sensor is exposed the same way we did in the air blower step, and then take out the swab carefully from the packaging. Now drop 2 or at maximum 3 drops of the included sensor cleaning liquid onto one side of the swab, but make sure you don't drop the liquid onto the other side, as that needs to be dry. Now, with one motion, drag the wet side of the swab along the camera sensor, pressing very gently, and when you reach the edge of the sensor, twist the swab around and go back to the other edge of the sensor with the dry side of the swab. This should all be done in one single motion, so don't lift the swab off of the sensor while doing the twist, but if it does get lifted off slightly, it's not a major issue. Now, if at this point there's any dirt left on your camera sensor, don't use the same swab again, but always take a new clean swab to clean the sensor again. And at this point you should have a nice and clean camera sensor. You can happily go outside and take some dust-free images once again. It's really that simple to clean the camera sensor yourself at home. So I hope this video helped you out, but that is all I have for today. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next one.